Leadership is not about power, it is about influence. It is not about making decisions from a place of emotion, but from a place of calm, reason, and conviction. In today's world, where chaos and uncertainty seem to rule, how does one lead with wisdom, resilience, and integrity? The answer is simpler than you might think. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, holds timeless principles that can shape you into a leader who remains unshaken in the face of adversity, focused in moments of uncertainty, and unwavering in their commitment to what is just. This isn't just about self-control or intellectual pursuit. This is about transforming how you lead others, not through force, but through the power of example, clarity of thought, and an unbreakable will. In this video, we will explore how Stoicism, the same philosophy that guided emperors, warriors, and thinkers, can sharpen your leadership, make you a better decision maker, and help you leave a legacy that endures. Leadership is not born in comfort. It is forged in the fire of challenges. And Stoicism. Stoicism teaches you to embrace that fire. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The foundation of Stoicism, mastering what you control. At the heart of Stoicism lies a simple but profound truth. You cannot control the world, but you can control how you respond to it. This is the bedrock on which Stoic leadership stands. In a world where every leader is bombarded by distractions, external pressures, and the demands of others, the Stoic leader understands that their true power is in their response, not in the events themselves. A Stoic leader knows this. The only thing you truly possess is your ability to choose how to act, how to think, and how to be. Everything else, the opinions of others, the success or failure of your decisions, even the circumstances you face, is outside your direct control. This isn't defeatism, it's freedom. By focusing only on what is within your power, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, you align yourself with what is rational and virtuous, allowing you to navigate the chaos of leadership with unwavering resolve. Let us take a step back and examine the core Stoic principle, the dichotomy of control. According to Marcus Aurelius, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The Stoic leader does not spend time lamenting over what cannot be changed. Instead, they use every obstacle as an opportunity to grow, to refine their leadership, and to strengthen their character. This is not about blind optimism, it's about disciplined realism. When you embrace that which you cannot control, you take back the one thing that matters, the power to choose your response. The ability to distinguish between what is within your control and what is not is one of the greatest skills a leader can develop. In practical terms, this means you will not be shaken by criticism, overwhelmed by setbacks, or distracted by external chaos. When a crisis strikes, your first thought isn't to panic or react impulsively. Instead, you pause, you assess what can be controlled, and you take deliberate action on that front. Your peace of mind becomes your strongest asset, allowing you to think clearly and act decisively, even under pressure. Take a moment to reflect on your own leadership challenges. When faced with a difficult decision, do you let the external noise consume your focus? Or do you center yourself, remembering that only your actions are within your grasp? When employees question your authority, or when business results aren't what you expect, do you fall into frustration? Or do you remember that your responsibility is not to control the outcome, but to give your best effort, guided by wisdom and reason? A true Stoic leader also understands that emotions are not obstacles to be ignored, but signals that offer insight. Anger, frustration, fear, these are natural human responses, but they are not the final word. In the heat of the moment, a Stoic leader will not allow these emotions to dictate their actions. Instead, they recognize them for what they are, temporary disturbances that, when examined with rationality, lose their grip on the mind. The key is not in eliminating emotions, but in mastering them. A Stoic leader remains steady, unwavering in their judgment, even when others around them are swept away by their passions. Consider the example of Epictetus, who, as a slave, was subject to the whims of his masters, yet never lost his sense of freedom. He wrote, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The Stoic leader doesn't covet power or status. Instead, they understand that true leadership is rooted in service, not in control of others, but in the mastery of oneself. When you control your inner world, you can lead others without needing to dominate them. You can guide, inspire, and elevate those around you with clarity and purpose. This is the essence of Stoic leadership, understanding the limits of your control and focusing on what truly matters. In a world of constant change and uncertainty, you become the steady hand, the calm mind, and the rational heart that guides others toward a shared vision. It is not the events that define you as a leader, but how you respond to them, how you cultivate your inner strength, and how you maintain your composure in the face of adversity. This is the power of Stoicism. Lesson 2: Emotional Mastery. Leadership without the chaos of emotion. In the realm of leadership, emotions are powerful forces. They can drive us to act with incredible passion, or they can cloud our judgment and lead us astray. The Stoic leader, however, understands the profound truth that emotions, while natural, must never control us. Instead, a Stoic leader controls their emotions, using them as tools for clarity and purpose, not as obstacles to effective decision-making. The Stoic principle of emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, it is about transcending them. It is about recognizing that while you cannot always control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. In a moment of anger, frustration, or stress, a Stoic leader does not act impulsively. They pause. They reflect. They allow their reason to guide their actions, not the heat of the moment. This is the essence of apatheia, a state of inner peace where one is unaffected by external circumstances or emotions. The Stoic leader is not indifferent to the world, but rather, they approach every challenge, every conflict with equanimity. They are unmoved by the storm of emotions that others might succumb to, because they know that leadership is about clarity, and clarity requires calm. Consider the words of Seneca, who said, "A wise man is not one who is unaffected by misfortune, but one who does not let misfortune overwhelm him." When faced with unexpected crises, be it a financial setback, an employee conflict, or an unexpected failure, the Stoic leader does not spiral into panic or frustration. Instead, they understand that the situation is what it is, and the true challenge lies in how they choose to respond. Take a moment and think about a time when you were tested as a leader. Perhaps there was a situation where you felt your emotions rise, an employee challenged your authority, or a key project failed. What did you do in that moment? Did you act in haste, allowing your anger or disappointment to dictate your choices? Or did you step back, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of the Stoic truth? This moment does not define you. Your reaction does. Emotional control is not about stifling your emotions, it's about using them to enhance your judgment. The Stoic leader understands that emotions are signals. They tell us something about what we care about, what is important to us. The key is not to let them overtake your rational thought. When you feel anger rising, for example, you don't deny it. Instead, you take a moment to ask yourself, what is this anger telling me? Is this situation truly worthy of my emotional investment? Is there a constructive action I can take? This is where the Stoic practice of mindfulness comes into play. By being aware of your emotional state in real time, you can decide how to respond rather than being carried away by impulses. You do not let emotions like anger, fear, or frustration take root and cloud your decision-making. Instead, you rise above them, looking at the situation with the clarity of someone who understands that emotions, while real, are temporary. Think of the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius. Faced with wars, betrayal, and the collapse of the Roman Empire's infrastructure, Marcus did not allow himself to be consumed by fear or resentment. He faced each challenge with a sense of purpose and rationality, understanding that his role as a leader was not to be a slave to his emotions, but to act from wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events, he wrote. Realize this, and you will find strength. This strength is something every leader can cultivate. By training your mind to respond with reason, you transform your emotional reactions into conscious decisions. This is the mark of true leadership, the ability to face any storm with unwavering composure, to make decisions not from a place of chaos, but from a place of clarity. So, what does emotional mastery look like in action? It means when things go wrong, you don't lose your head. It means when your team questions your vision, you remain calm and listen, knowing that the path to progress often involves navigating conflict with patience and understanding. It means when your own doubts surface, you recognize them for what they are, fleeting thoughts that don't define your ability to lead. A stoic leader embraces this emotional mastery not just for their own benefit, but for the benefit of those they lead. In a world where emotional reactions can cause chaos and confusion, a leader who remains calm in the face of adversity becomes a beacon of stability for their team. They set the example for how to act in the midst of a storm, how to lead with reason, and how to rise above the noise. This is the power of emotional mastery. It is the ability to lead not from a place of reactive emotion, but from a place of grounded strength, a place where the calm of your mind dictates the clarity of your actions. When you master your emotions, you become an unstoppable force capable of guiding your team with purpose, wisdom, and unshakable resolve. Lesson 3: Resilience in adversity, transforming challenges into opportunities. Leadership is not defined by how smoothly things go when everything is in your favor. True leadership is forged in the furnace of adversity. It is when things go wrong, when the pressure is on, when failure looms large, that a leader's true character is revealed. A stoic leader, however, approaches adversity not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity, a test of their resilience, a chance to prove their unwavering commitment to the greater purpose. In the Stoic philosophy, adversity is not something to be feared or avoided. It is, in fact, an essential part of life. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful Stoic leaders, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound teaching is at the core of Stoic resilience. Challenges are not setbacks, but stepping stones for growth. Each obstacle that arises in your path is an opportunity to refine your leadership, your judgment, and your character. The Stoic leader, therefore, doesn't panic when things go wrong. They don't collapse under pressure or lose their temper. Instead, they remain steadfast. When faced with a setback, they see it not as an attack on their leadership, but as a lesson, as a moment to sharpen their focus, to reassess and to move forward with renewed purpose. In the words of Epictetus, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. A true leader rises to the occasion, not by avoiding hardship, but by embracing it and using it to become stronger. Let's consider this in practical terms. As a leader, you will inevitably face setbacks. Projects will fail. Decisions will backfire. People will let you down. In these moments, a Stoic leader does not indulge in self-pity or frustration. Instead, they maintain their composure and ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I use this challenge to grow and become better? This is the essence of resilience, not simply bouncing back, but growing stronger because of the adversity you face. A Stoic leader understands that pain, failure, and disappointment are part of life. These are not punishments, but opportunities to develop virtue. Stoicism teaches that we should not be defined by what happens to us, but by how we choose to respond. In the face of hardship, the Stoic leader embraces what is difficult, not with resentment, but with the understanding that difficulty sharpens character. It is through hardship that we develop the qualities that define strong leadership: patience, perseverance, and courage. This approach to adversity is grounded in another powerful Stoic concept, amor fati, or the love of fate. The Stoic leader does not simply accept misfortune, they love it. They understand that everything that happens, even the painful and unexpected events, is part of the greater order of things. Every setback is an invitation to practice virtue, to act with wisdom, and to stay true to one's purpose, regardless of the external circumstances. Consider, for example, a major setback in your leadership journey, a failed business deal, or a public criticism of your decisions. A non-Stoic leader might react with anger, disappointment, or even despair. But a Stoic leader would meet the challenge with equanimity. They would reflect, acknowledge the failure, but focus on the lessons it offers. Perhaps it's a reminder to reassess their strategy, to improve their communication, or to adjust their expectations. They would use the setback as fuel for self-improvement, not as an excuse for defeat. Resilience, then, is not just about surviving adversity. It is about using adversity as a catalyst for growth. In fact, true resilience is defined by your ability to face repeated setbacks without ever losing sight of your purposing. Every failure becomes an opportunity to reevaluate your approach, to correct your course, and to emerge stronger. The Stoic leader's greatest strength is not in never falling, but in never being defeated by a fall. Think about the great Stoic leaders throughout history, whether it was Marcus Aurelius, who led the Roman Empire through one of its most tumultuous periods, or Nelson Mandela, who endured years of imprisonment and emerged not with hatred, but with a message of reconciliation. Both faced immense adversity, yet both used it to grow in wisdom, compassion, and leadership. The Stoic leader does not shrink from hardship, they embrace it as a powerful teacher. Another critical aspect of Stoic resilience is the practice of negative visualization. This Stoic technique involves imagining the worst-case scenario, not to create fear, but to prepare the mind for potential challenges. By contemplating the possibility of failure, loss, or adversity, the Stoic leader becomes less afraid when it inevitably happens. They are mentally prepared, and when faced with difficulty, they do not panic. Instead, they calmly assess the situation, knowing that they have already prepared themselves mentally to face whatever comes their way. In practical terms, this means that when you are preparing for a big project or decision, you do not simply focus on the best possible outcome. You also think about what could go wrong. How would you handle a failed negotiation, a sudden crisis, or an unexpected betrayal? By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you steel yourself against the emotional shock that often comes with misfortune. When adversity strikes, you are ready to meet it with the strength and clarity of a Stoic. This is the true meaning of resilience, not just enduring difficulty, but using it to refine your character, to strengthen your resolve, and to emerge wiser and more effective than before. The Stoic leader's path is one of constant growth through adversity, never retreating from difficulty but facing it head-on with courage and wisdom. So, as you lead, remember this: every challenge you face is an opportunity in disguise. The more you embrace adversity with a Stoic mindset, the more resilient and capable you become. Each test of your leadership is not a threat, but a gift, a chance to demonstrate your strength, to refine your purpose, and to prove to those who follow you that, no matter the storm, you will never falter. This is the essence of Stoic resilience, and it is the mark of true leadership. Lesson 4. Lead by example. The true power of integrity and virtue. In Stoic philosophy, leadership is not about holding a title or asserting authority. It is about embodying the virtues you wish to see in others. A Stoic leader leads not through commands or control, but through the sheer force of their example. The true power of leadership comes from living in alignment with your values, displaying unwavering integrity, and acting consistently with the virtues you hold dear. The Stoic leader understands that they are always being watched, not only by their team, but by the universe itself. A leader's actions speak louder than their words. In a world where leadership is often associated with charisma, titles, and strategies, the Stoic leader knows that the greatest source of influence is their own conduct. Every decision, every word, and every action must be rooted in virtue. This is the essence of virtue ethics, the belief that excellence lies in one's character and that one's moral integrity is the foundation for true leadership. The Stoic leader does not merely instruct others on what to do, they show them by living it every day. Consider Marcus Aurelius once more, the Stoic emperor who governed with wisdom and humility. Despite being the ruler of the most powerful empire in the world, he led with a deep sense of duty, always striving to act with virtue in mind. He often wrote about the importance of self-reflection and the need to act with honor, humility, and justice. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, he famously said. In every action, the Stoic leader embodies their ideals. Whether they are making decisions under pressure, communicating with their team, or facing a personal challenge, they remain true to their core values. Integrity is the foundation of trust, and trust is the cornerstone of leadership. When your actions align with your words, when your behavior is consistent with your values, you inspire others to follow, not because you demand it, but because they see in you something worth following. Leading by example is about demonstrating the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in every moment. Wisdom is reflected in the leader's ability to think clearly, make thoughtful decisions, and act in a way that aligns with the greater good. Courage is shown in the leader's willingness to face difficult situations with calm determination, never shying away from the hard decisions. Justice is found in the leader's fairness, their ability to treat others with respect, and their commitment to acting with equity and fairness. Temperance is seen in the leader's ability to maintain self-control, to act with moderation, and to avoid indulgence or excess. A leader who embodies these virtues creates a powerful example for their team. People follow a leader not because they are told to, but because they are inspired by what the leader stands for. The Stoic leader knows that their true power lies not in force, but in the strength of their character. When your actions align with your principles, when you act with integrity and courage in all things, you inspire those around you to rise to the same standard. This is where authenticity plays a crucial role. The Stoic leader does not put on a mask or pretend to be something they are not. They are real, honest, and vulnerable. They don't hide behind their position or power. Instead, they are transparent, acknowledging their own flaws and striving every day to improve. Their authenticity builds trust, and it is this trust that forms the foundation of any successful leadership. When you lead by example, you also encourage others to hold themselves accountable. People naturally want to emulate the qualities they see in their leaders. If you demonstrate resilience in adversity, emotional control in crisis, and integrity in every decision, your team will follow suit. You set the tone for the entire organization. You are the standard by which others measure themselves. Your example becomes the benchmark of excellence. But leading by example is not easy. It requires discipline and self-awareness. It requires constant self-reflection, a willingness to confront your own weaknesses, and the humility to admit when you are wrong. The Stoic leader does not seek perfection, but they seek constant improvement. They understand that every day is an opportunity to align their actions with their values more fully. As a Stoic leader, you must also lead with purpose. You must have a clear vision of the values that guide your leadership and the principles that shape your decisions. A Stoic leader's purpose is rooted in the greater good, not personal gain, not status, but the flourishing of the people they serve. This sense of purpose provides direction and meaning both for the leader and for those they lead. It is what motivates you to rise each day, to face the challenges ahead, and to act with integrity, no matter the cost. Let's consider a real-world example. A leader in a company is faced with the decision to cut costs by laying off a portion of the workforce. The easy decision, the decision that might preserve the bottom line, is to cut jobs without much thought for the people behind them. But the Stoic leader considers the decision through the lens of virtue. What is the just course of action? What decision reflects wisdom and courage? The Stoic leader understands that every decision they make must be guided by fairness, compassion, and a commitment to the well-being of others, even when it's difficult. In this case, the Stoic leader might explore alternatives, perhaps reducing salaries across the board, offering retraining programs, or finding other ways to avoid drastic layoffs. By acting with integrity, they lead not only by their decisions, but by the example they set for their team. They show that a leader's true worth is measured not by what they gain, but by how they treat others, even in the most difficult of times. This is the power of leading by example. When your leadership is rooted in virtue, when your actions align with your words, you create a culture of trust, respect, and shared purpose. Your example becomes a guiding light, showing others the path to follow and inspiring them to rise to their highest potential. As you reflect on your own leadership journey, ask yourself, do my actions reflect the values I wish to instill in others? Am I leading with integrity, courage, and wisdom? Am I setting the example I want my team to follow? If the answer is yes, then you are on the path to becoming a true Stoic leader. If not, then there is no better time than now to start living the example you wish to set. Remember, leadership is not about control. It is about influence. And the most powerful influence you can have is the example you set through your own actions, rooted in the strength of your character and the depth of your virtue. This is the essence of Stoic leadership, leading not by words but by the undeniable power of your actions. Lesson 5. Focus on what you can control, the key to unshakable leadership. One of the most powerful lessons Stoicism imparts to leaders is the understanding that not everything is within their control. In fact, the Stoic philosophy teaches that only a small portion of life falls within our direct influence, our own actions, thoughts, and responses. The external world, the behavior of others, the outcome of events, these are beyond our control. This understanding forms the bedrock of Stoic leadership, as it helps leaders focus their energy and attention on what truly matters, their own decisions and actions. A Stoic leader does not waste energy lamenting things beyond their control. They do not agonize over external circumstances, the behavior of others, or the unpredictability of life. Instead, they take full responsibility for their own responses and behaviors, knowing that this is where true power lies. By focusing on what they can control, they preserve their mental and emotional energy, allowing them to remain calm and effective in any situation. Epictetus, one of the central Stoic philosophers, put it simply, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. A Stoic leader understands that while the world may present challenges, crises, conflicts, failures, their responsibility is not to change these events, but to determine how they respond. This response is what shapes their leadership and defines their success. This mindset enables Stoic leaders to maintain resilience and clarity in times of crisis. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by factors outside their control, they remain focused on their internal response. If their team is facing a setback, they do not focus on blaming external factors. Instead, they focus on what can be done within their sphere of influence, how they can guide their team, how they can adapt the strategy, and how they can support their people in overcoming the challenges they face. The Stoic leader also embodies the ability to accept the things beyond their control. They do not fight against reality. They do not waste time and energy wishing things were different. They simply work with what they have, acting with reason and composure. This acceptance leads to peace of mind because the leader is no longer battling against circumstances they cannot change. Instead, they channel their efforts into areas where they can make a difference, which ultimately drives their leadership. This philosophy extends into every aspect of leadership. Consider the external pressures you face in your role. Perhaps there are organizational changes that you cannot influence or market conditions that are beyond your control. Rather than becoming anxious or frustrated, the Stoic leader looks inward, examining their own actions and responses. They ask themselves, what can I control in this situation? How can I respond with wisdom and clarity? This focus on what is within their power allows them to maintain composure, make sound decisions, and lead effectively regardless of external chaos. Moreover, by focusing on what can be controlled, Stoic leaders avoid unnecessary stress and frustration. In the business world, for instance, leaders may often find themselves reacting to market fluctuations, shifting customer demands, or organizational changes. Instead of allowing these external factors to consume their time and energy, the Stoic leader takes proactive steps within their control, whether that's strengthening their team, improving their processes, or refining their strategy. This principle also applies to interpersonal dynamics. In any leadership role, you will encounter resistance, disagreements, and challenges from others. A Stoic leader recognizes that they cannot control the behavior of their colleagues or subordinates. However, they can control their response to these challenges. They can choose to listen carefully, to communicate effectively, and to maintain a calm and fair demeanor, regardless of the behavior they encounter. The Stoic perspective on control is also critical in preventing burnout. Leadership is demanding, and it is easy to become overwhelmed by trying to manage everything. When a leader takes on too much responsibility for things beyond their control, they risk losing their sense of clarity and focus. By accepting what they cannot change, the Stoic leader is able to conserve their energy for the things that truly matter: their own actions, their leadership approach, and their decisions. This focus allows them to maintain a sustainable, long-term perspective on their leadership journey. The practice of focusing only on what is within your control does not mean that a Stoic leader is passive or indifferent to external events. It simply means that they direct their attention and efforts toward the things they can influence, and they do so with deliberation and purpose. They do not waste time fighting battles they cannot win. Instead, they channel their energy into the areas where they can make the most meaningful impact. As a Stoic leader, ask yourself, are you focusing on what you can control? Are you expending mental and emotional energy on things that are outside of your power? The Stoic leader teaches us that the most effective way to lead is by narrowing our focus, accepting what cannot be changed, and acting with purpose and clarity in the areas where we have influence. In doing so, you become a steady force in a world full of uncertainty, a leader who is unshaken by external forces, and who stands firm in their ability to act within their own sphere of control. This is the key to lasting leadership: resilience, wisdom, and clarity in the face of adversity. Lesson 6. The importance of reflection, continuous improvement through self-examination. The Stoic leader knows that personal growth is a never-ending process. They understand that to become better today, they must reflect on their actions and decisions from yesterday. Continuous improvement is not just about pushing forward, it is about pausing to assess, to learn, and to recalibrate. This is the Stoic practice of self-examination, which allows leaders to cultivate self-awareness, learn from their mistakes, and refine their leadership strategies over time. In the Stoic tradition, reflection is not an occasional practice, it is a daily commitment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often spoke about the importance of daily reflection, writing, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." For the Stoic leader, this means setting aside time each day to reflect on their thoughts, actions, and decisions, ensuring they are aligned with their values and purpose. Reflection allows leaders to examine their own behavior and reactions. Were their decisions guided by reason or by emotion? Did they treat others with the fairness and respect they deserve? Were they focused on the greater good, or were they distracted by short-term gains? This practice of self-examination enables Stoic leaders to learn from their experiences, identify areas for improvement, and avoid repeating the same mistakes. Moreover, reflection provides the Stoic leader with a sense of humility. By regularly evaluating their own actions, they acknowledge that they are not perfect, that they are constantly learning, and that they are subject to the same limitations as anyone else. This humility is essential in fostering a growth mindset, one that is open to feedback, correction, and improvement. In practice, this might look like setting aside time at the end of each day to review your actions and decisions. Ask yourself, what went well today? What could have been handled differently? What lessons can I take from this experience to improve tomorrow? These daily moments of reflection cultivate mindfulness, allowing the Stoic leader to stay grounded and focused on their purpose rather than becoming lost in the distractions of daily life. Self-reflection is also essential for maintaining balance in leadership. It is easy for leaders to become consumed by the demands of their role, to get caught up in the drive for success, or to become overly invested in external validation. Through reflection, the Stoic leader can regularly reconnect with their core values, ensuring they remain true to their principles and avoid becoming overwhelmed by the pressures of leadership. This process of self-examination ultimately leads to self-mastery. As you become more aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you gain the ability to direct your efforts toward areas that need growth, while also capitalizing on your existing strengths. This creates a leader who is always evolving, always striving for excellence, and who leads with the wisdom that comes from continuous improvement. Reflection is a powerful tool for ensuring that leadership is a journey of constant growth. The Stoic leader does not rest on their laurels. They recognize that no matter how much they have achieved, there is always room for growth. By committing to regular self-reflection, Stoic leaders ensure that they are always progressing toward their highest potential, both as individuals and as leaders. Lesson 7. Practicing patience. The power of steady, calm leadership. Patience is not simply the ability to wait, it is how we behave while we wait. For a Stoic leader, patience is not a passive quality, but an active force, a fundamental trait that enables them to navigate the complexities and challenges of leadership with clarity and resilience. In a world that demands quick results, fast solutions, and immediate success, the Stoic leader stands apart, grounded in the belief that true success is the product of steady, persistent effort over time. The Stoic leader understands that great accomplishments do not happen overnight. Whether it's building a team, establishing a new strategy, or transforming an organization, the journey requires time, effort, and endurance. Seneca, another key Stoic philosopher, reminds us the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. A Stoic leader avoids the trap of impatience, understanding that they must stay focused on the present moment, taking deliberate actions that move them steadily forward without rushing or forcing outcomes. Patience, in this sense, becomes an active practice of trust. The Stoic leader trusts in the process and remains committed to their long-term goals. When challenges arise or progress seems slow, they do not react impulsively or become disheartened. Instead, they stay the course, adjusting when necessary, but never abandoning their mission. It is this quiet persistence that separates the true leader from those who falter under pressure. In leadership, patience is essential not only for personal development, but for cultivating a culture of trust and stability within your team. Leaders who are constantly impatient or seeking quick results create an atmosphere of urgency and stress. On the other hand, a Stoic leader who practices patience provides a steady hand, guiding their team with calm and composure. This patient approach encourages others to think long-term, to focus on sustainable growth, and to persist through adversity. Patience also allows the Stoic leader to lead with emotional stability. In moments of high stress, when emotions run high and situations seem to be spiraling out of control, the Stoic leader remains grounded. They do not react in anger, frustration, or panic. Instead, they pause, take a breath, and respond thoughtfully. This calmness is contagious, instilling confidence in their team and enabling everyone to maintain clarity under pressure. This concept of patience is crucial when it comes to dealing with people. As a leader, you will encounter a range of personalities and behaviors, some of which will challenge you. The Stoic leader knows that change takes time, and that not everyone will be immediately aligned with the vision. When faced with resistance, instead of reacting with impatience, the Stoic leader shows empathy and understanding. They recognize that growth and transformation are gradual processes, and they are willing to invest the time necessary to guide others along that path. Moreover, a Stoic leader also understands that patience involves letting go of the need for immediate recognition. The desire for external validation can be a distraction for many leaders. However, the Stoic leader remains focused on the mission rather than the accolades. They understand that true satisfaction comes not from applause, but from the internal satisfaction of knowing they have done their best, acted with integrity, and stayed true to their values. They are not driven by fame or recognition, but by the deeper fulfillment of serving their team and advancing the common good. In practical terms, patience for the Stoic leader involves several key elements. 1. Long-term vision, having a clear vision of where you want to go and being prepared to take the necessary steps, even when the progress is slow. This involves setting realistic expectations and understanding that results take time. 2. Emotional control, maintaining composure when faced with setbacks, delays, or frustrations. Patience helps you avoid rash decisions driven by short-term emotions, allowing you to think strategically and lead with wisdom. 3. Empathy and understanding, recognizing that other people's journeys may not align with your own timeline, and being patient with them as they develop and learn. This is especially crucial in mentoring or coaching others within your team. 4. Persistence. Despite challenges or delays, a Stoic leader continues to work steadily toward their goals, adjusting when necessary but never losing sight of the end result. The Stoic leader knows that patience is not simply a virtue, it is a tool for maintaining focus and discipline in the face of uncertainty. By embracing patience, they ensure their decisions are thoughtful, their actions are deliberate, and their leadership is steady. This is how true, lasting success is achieved, not by rushing, but by taking the time to move forward with wisdom and purpose. Lesson 8. The Stoic leader's legacy, creating a lasting impact. As a Stoic leader, the ultimate measure of your success is not the accolades you receive in your lifetime, but the lasting impact you leave behind. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the length of our lives or the recognition we receive, but we can control the kind of legacy we leave. A Stoic leader is focused not on personal glory, but on the legacy of virtue, wisdom, and service they create for future generations. This perspective shifts the focus away from temporary achievements or superficial success. Instead, the Stoic leader seeks to build a legacy rooted in integrity, humility, and contributions to the common good. They understand that their actions today, their decisions, and their character will echo through the lives of others long after they are gone. Consider the lives of the great Stoic figures. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire with wisdom and humility, leaving behind a legacy that still resonates today. His writings and meditations have inspired countless leaders throughout history, not because of his titles or power, but because of the strength of his character and his commitment to virtue. His legacy was not one of wealth or fame, but of wisdom, justice, and perseverance. As a Stoic leader, your legacy is shaped by how you lead others. It is not about making a name for yourself or seeking recognition, but about cultivating a life of purpose and service. The Stoic leader understands that they are part of something much larger than themselves. Their actions are a small but important part of the ongoing flow of human history, and they seek to contribute to the greater good. One of the most profound aspects of Stoicism is the recognition of impermanence. Life is fleeting and nothing lasts forever. This awareness is not meant to bring despair, but to encourage the Stoic leader to live with purpose, to focus on what truly matters, and to strive to leave a positive impact on the world. The Stoic leader knows that their time in this world is limited, and they are committed to making that time count by living in alignment with their values and helping others do the same. To build a legacy, the Stoic leader must focus on a few key principles. 1. Virtue over recognition. Your legacy is shaped by the quality of your character, not by the praise you receive. Cultivate virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and integrity, and let these be the foundation of your leadership. 2. Impact on others. A lasting legacy is built by empowering others, teaching them, and inspiring them to be their best selves. A Stoic leader focuses on the growth and well-being of those they lead, knowing that their greatest impact comes from helping others achieve their potential. 3. Service to the greater good. True leadership is about contributing to the common good, not personal gain. The Stoic leader focuses on what is best for the collective, not just for themselves or their own career. By embracing these principles, you create a legacy that is not defined by fleeting fame or external recognition, but by the deep, lasting impact you have on others and the world. Your legacy, rooted in virtue and wisdom, will continue to inspire long after you are gone. Thank you for watching. Remember, leadership isn't about power, it's about purpose, patience, and virtue. Embrace the Stoic path, focus on what you can control, and lead with integrity. Your legacy will be built one decision at a time. Stay steady, stay focused, and lead with wisdom.